What's up, everybody? This is Edward back with a video. Um, yeah, so we're gonna jump right into it. So I'm definitely thinking. I've been already thinking about it. So I'm gonna have a kind of soft reboot of this channel. It's gonna still be talking about a lot of the same things. So I'm not gonna switch up on you like that, but it definitely is gonna do more uploads and stuff like that. So I am excited about that. But I'm gonna jump right into this real quick. All right, so right now as we speak, because I'm doing some work on my tablet and you got Jason Black with the business going. Well, you know what? That ain't even what I care about. So I got this post that I saw that's literally like a shot at, Kevin Samuels. I don't know if you all have seen it. Go to the business, Jason Black, the business, go to this community tab, you'll see it. It's basically a post of, a dude in a suit, and then you can read with it what you will. But, you know, and it's basically kind of clowning Kevin Samuels, talk about what he charges to be a high value man and all that. That's what it's about. And then right now you got Kevin Samuels is basically doing kind of a general response video. And BGS shared that. That's why I even wanted to comment on it right now, saying interesting. But he has basically a video that's kind of like a response video to like all the general criticisms he's been getting, because clearly it's affecting him, it's bothering him. Apparently he said something too, as far as he feels like Jason Black is harassing him. I'm mentioning this because one of the things that I try to stay focused on with everything I do is, how is what I'm doing actually helping somebody? And one of the things that the manosphere in general has a problem with is we do too much. We get the pissing contest shit. I've always tried to not get into a pissing contest with anybody, because at the end of the day, if we play that game and I actually am willing to show what the fuck I'm dealing with as far as, economics, as far as the quality of life stuff, the stuff that actually counts, motherfuckers are gonna get mad. And so at the end of the day, I don't want to do that, because I'm not, because really I don't care about an ego. I don't give a shit about ego. I don't give a shit about being seen. I don't give a shit about that. I put out my opinions, and my opinions are my opinions. You got somebody, and what's sad is you see two different YouTubers. And it's not, and this is an example off of, I'm gonna talk about fantastic shit too. Stream too. Because it's starting to be a pattern. But you got two different YouTubers. They both over 100 subs. They have success in different ways. And it's like Jason Black feels like, and it's not just him. There's a couple of other content creators that are not even in manosphere, even though some of them are too. They just feel like they see a black man and, oh, well, he's scamming people. So therefore, it's my job to attack him. And what's funny is all these people always come back to what quote unquote general manhood is. They always come back to either general manhood or being pro-black. And yet these are the people that go out of their way to try to tear some other people down. And when I was looking at that post, there was a couple of people in that post, Nicole, a couple of others. And everybody wants to, come out and then try to accuse a dude that's been married twice, who's has kids. They want to emasculate him by basically talking about feminine energy, feminine vibes, which is something that people have low-key tried to tag with me. When, let's be clear here, people haven't even, and this is not me taking sides, but I just want to be straight up. Jason Black, people haven't seen him. Let's just call that what it is. And even though I let a lot of that go, my thing is, the reason why one of the reasons he doesn't put himself out there is why Chrissy doesn't put themselves out there, is why Jessica X doesn't really want to put herself, is one of the very reasons why you see what's going on with Kevin. Because people don't know how to stick to the fucking point. And I'll be fair in saying most of Jason Black's criticism has been to the point. But I can see what a lot of the audience around that is doing. And a lot of the audience is doing kind of for him what, he's not taking all the way. And my thing is, what kills me about this is He has a YouTube channel with mostly with I won't say it's at least 50, if not 55, 60, 75% black people. You have women calling. Clearly these motherfuckers are this is resonating with them. And what was kind of interesting to me is the only person I've seen has had that kind of juice has been Jason Black. And up until recently, it's almost like there's a threat level there. And the reason why I'm mentioning him is because I'm constantly seeing posts around it. It's this, this little gnawing and shit, and then people want to get mad because certain things Kevin said. Now it's to the point where Kevin is sitting here, talking about on his channel as we speak, talking about is the narrative true, is what it's true what black women say, which is basically making a Cynthia G argument. And I get that people are bothering him, but obviously, I have agreed with a lot of his points. And so when I agree, I agree. When I disagree, I don't. And I'm seeing dudes call in, you know, and this is and shout out to Mr. Fantastic. This is exactly why Mr. Fantastic made the stream that he made. This is why I kind of, even though I had some disagreements, I kind of understood why he did what he did. Was because, let me be very clear here. It is not black women's play. Like, this is what the truth is. The truth is black women have the right to choose who they want to sleep with, and that's their right. It is really not, my personal opinion is, it's not a woman's place to tell men what the fuck manhood is. It's not a woman's place to complain about what men as a collective group aren't doing. And especially in the black community. So the stream he's doing right now, talking about, well, is what they say true? No, because they're fucking the same guys that they're complaining about. And this is why, you can't, it kills me when people try to have this argument about men are complaining. Men are not complaining about who the women are choosing. What men are complaining about is the fact that they're basically, it's almost like they're basically getting baggage and then coming to other dudes. It doesn't matter if those dudes were chosen or not. They're coming to other dudes that for whatever reason don't have kids. And then basically want to clean up other people's messes. And then what they're doing is they're telling these stories about these guys that I know isn't as true as what they say. Because at the end of the day, these women are choosing these guys when they have an alternative. And I'm not even talking about other black men. I'm talking about they have an alternative to take their fucking talents to another race or another culture as far as black people. So I've heard O'Shea make these arguments too about, well, Cynthia G has some good talking points. And no, Kevin didn't mention Cynthia G, but the point is the rhetoric sounds similar as to, well, these dudes, like Kevin's talking about dudes are not eligible to be in, like, dudes are not eligible to be in relationships. They're not mature. They're not this and they're not that. And the reason why I want to really point that out is because there's a difference when I'm coming at black men, like as far as accountability on certain things, you got to understand that's from a perspective, that's from an honest perspective, and that's from a perspective of I have their best interests at heart. And it really annoys me because when you defend somebody's talking points and then they do some shit like this because they're upset and then it gets in their own way. I mean, let's keep this real. I don't know about that eggplant scandal shit. But at the end of the day, that was a fault. That was what they call self errors. That's a self error. People gonna clown you. I've seen other YouTubers say stupid shit. Hell, I've said shit and then people try to make that a bigger thing than what the fuck that was. It's just I'm not a bigger YouTuber like that. So therefore it didn't carry as much weight because there's not a lot of stream algorithm can get off trying to put my name, even though people low key love to. And I'm about thing that he gets when people try to use money as kind of like a compensation of what he would perceive as manhood. Basically, what he money to disrespect. And as a dude that's in the military, I can respect that. I can understand that. I agree with that. And on the flip side, I make sure I try not to step on nobody else's manhood. I really do. Now, that's why I try to keep it to the arguments. Now, certain thing where it's happened about 3 times now in the last like 5 weeks, where dudes want to take their shot at me. They want to get on panels and then, you know, try to think they're gonna create a rumble at a panel. You know, they want to pause the panel just to fucking have a conversation with me. And almost everyone, like out of the 3 times, 2 out of 3 times, once they said what they said, I observed how they operated after the panel. This happened on Kudas, this happened on Fantastic, and it happened on Rogers. 2 of the 3 times, it's like they ain't got nothing to say. It's amazing how people, I'm the type of person is if you have something to say, I'm trying to get in. For the most part, I'll back off and I'll let you talk. But at the same time, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna get what the fuck I want to say out. It is what it is. If I see somebody's trying to talk, I'll back off and let them say something. If I say they've been trying to talk, I'll back off and let them say something. Specifically with that person, they ain't got shit to say. They ain't got shit to say. Or the shit that they saying, it's not, they're not saying shit. Like they literally are not saying anything. And then people get mad at me because they feel like I'm taking up some oxygen room. You know what? I used to be a little bit self-conscious about that. And they say, yeah, maybe I'm taking up more oxygen room. Yeah, I know. But you know what? Fuck that. Fuck that. That was very, very much so. Not on, fuck that. Here's the thing. The reason why more people are less annoyed by what I do is for a couple of things. I'm going to explain it real quick. Number one, most of the time when Ramil will tell you this, Fantastic will tell you this, when their whole art tell you this, BGS will tell you this. Most of the time when they're hosting a panel and I'm talking, when they tell me to fall back a little bit or they need to get something in, for the most part, I allow them to referee their shit. I don't sit there. Taking over is when I'm actually trying to tell them I'm doing what I'm doing, fuck what you doing, and they're the host. That does not happen. Otherwise, you would not see me on these panels. These dudes would not allow me to disrespect them and disrespect their panels because it's their panels. That's number one. Number two, like I said, most of the people that are talking, people like Nameless Protagonist, Ramil, all of them, when they are saying something, they say what they're gonna say. Yes, I'll say what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna push my way into getting what it is. But a lot of the perception of what it is that I do is not what I do. And I've been doing what I've been doing for almost 3 years, 4 years in the manosphere. So any of these new niggas, y'all can kiss my ass, y'all can go to hell. I'm not gonna stop doing what the fuck I'm doing. And I'm gonna keep it all real. A lot of y'all fucking with me is just gonna make me do it more and lets me give less of a fuck. That's real talk. I know you all have this feeling where you all feel like you all want to call me a name or call me this. That shit don't mean shit to me. It really doesn't. Because that shit means as much as I take a lot of y'all seriously. And I don't. I don't. Even when bigger YouTubers has thrown they shot at me, I don't give a shit about that. Because for the most part, I'm not here to really be combative. Now, if you're going to disrespect me to my face and then think I'm just going to take that shit, no, I'm not going to take it. But at the end of the day, I've always, and shout out to Hammer. Because what was interesting, people talk about, Hammer, like, I'm not caping. It's not about caping. I got a lot of younger dudes that listen to me, and I got 2 younger brothers. One is 24, one is 28. And my middle brother is straight. My younger brother, he leaves some work to be desired. But the point is, I'm always thinking about this. People talk about, oh yeah, man, you mention other people's name. A man doesn't do that. The reality, I said it on the stream. I'm gonna say it now. I mention other people. Nothing I do is clout chasing, because if I was clout chasing, it's a much easier marketing way to do it and actually get views. What I'm doing is I'm letting you know, A, where I got the information from, B, who the fuck I'm really talking about, and see where you can get information and I might not be able to provide you. And another thing is where you all can get people that that has experiences that I don't have that are saying similar shit. This is why you've seen me mention Dennis Sperling recently. And Dennis Sperling channel is not that large. But see, dudes with a certain perception can't accept that because they have this idea of what the fuck they think they know. And what I would say to any of these niggas is you got a cell phone just like I got a cell phone. You could fucking push up a panel. The reason why I don't do a lot of like panels is because panels take time. I know if I'm doing a panel, that shit's gonna be at least be 2 hours, 3 hours. Because I don't want to tell, because I don't like to tell these niggas, you shut the fuck up. It's the panel's over. I can just turn it off when I'm doing it. Also, um, like I said, everything I do is from home. So my time is my time. This is why you see me doing random videos at random times. Sometimes I'm in my car, sometimes I'm outside, sometimes because I just turn the shit on and just talk. That's it. I know a lot of niggas can't understand that because time freedom is a foreign concept to most black men, but there is such a thing where you actually can control your time. That's why when I was on BGS and shit, I was Ubering when I was doing that. So you find the time. So it's not that I'm just this is all I'm doing. No, trust and believe. I get a lot of shit done. But going back, but my overall point why I lumped all this stuff together is too much of this is about pissing contests. Even with the BBW shit, my first thing is not to shame niggas about BBW. First of all, I want to understand and establish, okay, what the fuck do you mean? Because, let's be in agreement of what you're talking about. Then I can determine whether I disagree or not, rather than conceptually, clowning shit. It's about moving shit forward. And one of the things that Pablo mentioned this as far as taking action, one of the things I will agree with wholeheartedly is too many dudes like to fall in a pissing contest. And it's not just me. It's always an excuse. It was an excuse with Ron Wills. It was an excuse with Kevin. It was an excuse with BGS. Excuse, hell, with Angry Man's. Excuse with Jason Black. Jason Black's an asshole. Angry Man's an asshole. BGS, what the fuck does he know? Kevin Black, does he really have the money that he has? O'Shea, who the fuck is that nigga? It's always something. And to a certain extent, people gonna have haters, but it's Glendon Cameron. Same deal. I'm not talking about from y'all motherfuckers be hating on his ass. Hotep niggas be hating on his ass because he want to talk about some progressive black shit. And it's like, why do y'all fuckers listen? Now, to a certain extent, with me being on other people's panels, I understand that because obviously they feel like I'm taking away from the people they want to listen to. So that I understand a little bit more than going to other people's personal channels and then just wilding the fuck out. I will give you that. But at the end of the day, folks got to get back to what the shit really is. Not this, like this, I know all the information. So therefore, I got all the fucking answers. So fuck anything anybody else is saying. Like for real. Cause I ain't on every panel like that. And real talk, I'm not on panels. Like when I usually go on Ramil's panel, I'm usually on that bitch for like 30 minutes. Maybe an hour, and to be honest with you, fantastic, I'm on even less. So it ain't even like I'm on people's panels to the extent where like the whole time it's just me talking. That's another reason why a lot of these niggas don't give a fuck. But and also when I come to a panel, I actually bring views to the panels I go to. That's another thing too. Because I make sure I share views. But anyway, that's not me justifying shit. What it's really about is you got too many niggas that they give a fuck about ego first. This is why, look, I understand Kevin's concepts on a high value man. Okay. But at the end, I understand that. I understand what he's trying to do. I said that before. But at the end of the day, dudes need to stop getting so hung up on what people say. They really need to. They need to stop getting hung. Just like how I don't get hung up on certain things Jason Black says when he tries to throw his little shots at the manosphere. And now it's like, you got Kevin talking about, well, is everything black women say is wrong? Yes, it is wrong because they're fucking the same guys they're complaining about. This is why I said if black women have a problem with black women can go get you a white man, a Hispanic man, an African man. You go get you a nigga that you want. So if we're gonna talk about what black men are not eligible, and see, even BGS would say this too. You know, as far as black men being eligible or not eligible, even if we assume black men are not eligible, the reality is they're not raised to be eligible. Black men are raised to be fucking broken. This is where the video, somebody that's taking care of his grandkid or helping to, as well as had kids that are, some are married. This is where his video and his experience goes into play. This is where seeing a video, seeing Dennis Sperling, how he's raising his sons and some of the stuff he's doing goes into play. There's a reason I share everybody. And if you notice, none of these motherfuckers, for the most part, that I talk about, I'm necessarily benefiting from sharing them, whether they're big YouTubers or smaller YouTubers. Because at the end of the day, I'm here to try to give the information experience that I have. Sometimes I do it on my stuff. Sometimes I do it within the topic. Ramil just said that he's thinking about doing a video on the topic I did as far as the prostitution shit. It's about cooperation and the little that I do that helps the chain. But a lot of dudes don't fucking understand that because they're too busy trying to prove to other people who a man is. Like seriously. Like I don't know if y'all saw that, but I'm on Mr. Fantastic shit and I'm talking and Grown Man Business decided to pause the whole show just to try to make a commentary calling me Auntie Edward and shit like that. But then when I call him a bitch ass nigga, he gonna sit there and say I didn't use the B word and I didn't use the G word. But I'm like, nigga, you fucking insinuate. You're trying to insinuate the shit without saying the shit. And that's what a fucking woman does. Say what the fuck you really mean. Say how the fuck you really feel. Because I'm gonna tell you, I don't sit there and hold back on what the fuck I think. If I think what somebody's saying is fucking stupid, then I'm gonna say it's fucking stupid. If I think, okay, I think we're not really understanding what we're really talking about, so let's get on that same page, then let's do that. But this thing, and it was interesting how he pretty much disproved his own point just by how he addressed the very point he was trying to make. He thinks because I talk a lot and me talking a lot has to do with passion. Actually, there's a lot of people that know me, and I mean a lot, that I don't even talk like that. They would be like, "Who? That short light skinned nigga? He don't say shit. He talks in," and I know y'all don't believe that, but whatever. He talks in like 1 word, 2 word sentences. You fucking serious? Him? This high? With the goatee? For real? He don't never say shit. People don't understand. I just thought he was just really serious. So it just depends on who I'm around. But but the other thing is, it's interesting in me that, like I said before, black men always, it's interesting how black men love trying to emasculate other black men to big up themselves. Even when and like real talk, like when you look at like what they try to do it the Fantastic with that shit that went on with fucking on a breakdown, which y'all ain't hear me even mention that shit. They've been doing it with Kevin, and they've been doing it with fucking they try to throw the shots at me, and it's amazing how that's the go-to, as if that means shit. And these would be the very same dudes. I've even heard Green, as a shout out to somebody in the chat, they said they didn't even know who, I don't even know Green Gorilla like that. They said they didn't know who Green, they found Green Gorilla through me. And even though I agree with a lot of what he says, but a lot of it I don't agree with. But even he tried to low key try to do that, not necessarily to me, but like he does it conceptually. And it's amazing how dudes love black men. They get mad at the women for calling them effeminate and emasculating them as a collective group. But dudes, that's their first fucking go-to. As soon as they run out of logic, they start doing the shaming, expecting that to work. And it's amazing how if you take that off the table and be like, nigga, I don't give a fuck about that. Especially when we're in 2020 now, where you see niggas like Dwayne Wade. What's that dude on the Breakfast Club was talking about the female aesthetic? I mean, please. A lot of these much shit. What's the dude that tried to run for governor? These motherfuckers are not in the closet like that. So I mean, if you focusing on the wrong fucking targets. And let's keep this all the way fucking real. What's a lot of these, and I'm gonna say it straight like that. A lot of these dudes that want to try to point out how effeminate somebody is, y'all motherfuckers won't stand up to a dude that actually is gay in corporate America. Y'all won't do that because y'all know y'all be fucking fired. Seriously. So what happens is people try to stick in the lanes that they know they can control. But the overall point is all this shit gets away of doing the work of basically proving our case and basically pushing that shit forward. I was just on a panel with fucking Bernard. That shit creates interference. It creates it's a front facing wind. A lot of these fucking distractions. They don't mean shit. Honestly, we should be talking about an election, talking about what this Ruth Bader Ginsburg shit means. Hell, we should be educating a lot of these new cats on some of the history of the manosphere so they understand context to certain things. Because my thing about Kevin is I look at Kevin, I don't see Kevin quite like Trump, but it's the same reason I like Trump. It's not the biggest, I'm not the biggest fan. I don't like Trump. I like Kevin a lot more than Trump. But my point is what he's doing actually is proving a case. And I think a lot of black men are too big focusing on their egos. They're worried about what he's saying and what they feel about themselves. I like I said, I know that 50,000, if you make 50,000 a month as a black man in the United States, you are in the top 20%. I know that black women are not dating out like that. So the reality is, by definition of the market as the market currently exists, if you're in the top 20% economically, that's where you are. I also understand that the very women are not looking at money. Black women are not looking at money as a primary mechanism for how they choose dudes. That's why I came up with the concept of genetic currency way before he started talking about high value man shit. So when you understand economic currency is what he's talking about, and genetic currency, which is how we know these women primarily choose from, I can take what he's saying and then say, look, I understand why he's saying what he's saying, but this is what people are actually moving on. And what a lot of people do is they wanna disprove, they wanna prove some shit. And like this shit don't matter. It really doesn't. Unless you really think it's something to what he's saying. Appreciate it, Desky Villy. You have friends on here. Don't worry about the rest. Absolutely, Desky. And I try to come at this from a humble standpoint because I am humble that people will listen to what I have to say. Even though I sell coaching and shit, when it comes to my shit, the fact that I'm not actually selling you something and you all are giving me money, that kind of operates outside of my sales mentality. So this is not me making this thing because I give a fuck about anybody. This is me making this thing because I want to let y'all niggas to know. I see you. I see the fucking pattern. I also see the pattern that it seems to be Hebrew Israelite. What's interesting is Solon Black is Hebrew Israelite. He's the dude that actually read me into the fucking manosphere. So shout out to Solon Black. But it seems to be Hebrew Israelite niggas that tend to have a problem with me. That's also what I've noticed too, and I'm not blanketing all Israelite folks. Like I said, Solon Black read me into the manosphere, but those seem to be the motherfuckers. Anybody that says Most High, those seem to be the motherfuckers that seem to have an issue with what the fuck I'm doing. I noticed that shit, and I didn't want to blanket shit like that, but those tend to be the folks that tend to have the most to fucking say. And the reality of the situation is a lot of them kind of leech on Hebrew Israelites have never truly been a pillar of what the manosphere is. Not to say that anybody's not welcome, but the point is they've always had this thing where they want to try to drive the conversation in another way. That's why I hopped off when they started talking about the Most High and all that. I said, okay. Because I'm not trying to sit there and then create an argument around that. But the truth is, Hebrew Israelites are like the last motherfuckers that should be telling somebody what the fuck manhood is, because a lot of y'all are two steps off that hotep shit your damn selves. You all ain't got control of your women any more than anybody else, any of the other sectors in black manhood. I don't know what is it about you niggas that fucking I rub the wrong way, but y'all need to fucking eat that shit and just move on. like real fucking talk. So I've definitely noticed a pattern in like a lot of the. I've definitely created kind of a general profile of the people that don't like me in this space as far as audiences, and that's a big part of it. I've just never really said that. Just like how I know what the anti-manosphere is. I like, but I've never really put that out there. I don't say everything I see. I don't say a lot of shit that I see, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, I'm here to basically pass down the information and knowledge that I have. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna start kind of guiding, expanding as to what I actually talk about. Because there's other stuff that I want to talk. Now, I agree with Pablo on the action. I think the biggest action that black men can take is actually doing actions that actually put money in their pocket. Shit costs money, and you can't, man. Now, I look, man. I understand that all Hebrew Israelites don't hate me. What I'm saying is, out of a lot of the motherfuckers that stepped up and said some shit, it's like 60 or 70% of them are Hebrew Israelites. I've come to find out. That's what I'm saying. So I understand that all Hebrew Israelites don't hate me, but what I'm saying is those tend to be the motherfuckers that seem to want to say something. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So this ain't me declaring war on Hebrew Israelites, but this is me saying that look, I know it ain't just some random motherfuckers from nowhere saying shit. And like I said, all I've observed as to how Hebrew Israelites deal with each other. So that shit in and of itself is like 6, 7 things. I've seen endless arguments over fucking doctrine and all that bullshit on Soul and Black's channel. So I understand that all y'all are not the same. Like I understand you can cut y'all like 6, 7 different ways. I understand that, but I'm just saying that overall, that's generally who the people that have acted like they wanted to say something for real. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. I'll make sure I get the lights up. What's up, Pharaoh? No, I didn't agree with everything Fantastic and was saying as far as look. I understand where they were going with that, but I think because I've had that same conversation with Sub Zero. When it comes to the Marxism stuff, like, I tend, but I understand their logic. I understand their linear logic for it. It's just I'm not going that far with it. That's all I'm saying. So Jim Rat say Jay Black is trying his hardest to appease his pro. I mean, it is, and the thing about it is what was interesting, but because even though I criticize, you don't see me criticize Jason Black like that, but if I disagree, I disagree, and I'm observing what he's like the posts he made, but I'm observing also his videos, because he just did one right now about staying in the game too long, and the thing about it is one dude said is he's saying the same shit just in a different way. And I'm like, so you're upset. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I agree. If you're gonna pay I don't know if that's what Kevin charges for a consultation, but I do know I wouldn't pay for that shit. And I do know it, and I'm gonna tell you, I haven't paid $1,000 for consultations, but I've paid $1,000 for coaching. I've gone to events for $1,000, and I can tell you right now that I'm definitely qualified to tell somebody if something is worth a grand or not. And I'm gonna say this. One of the reasons why I promote the people that I promote is because I think that the stuff that they have to say is a very, very good value add. I don't promote anybody with the perception of you to buy anything from them. Although if they have something to buy, usually I think you should. But a lot of their free content is just as good as what some people will charge you for. Now, coaching is good, consulting is good, but yeah. But at the same time, I'm not gonna knock somebody's hustle. If people feel like if somebody says that the price of you talking to them, consulting with them is a certain amount of money and they're clear on that price, if people pay it, who the fuck am I to say not to pay it? I'm not gonna say like people. I'm not unless I'm not gonna. I don't play black men. Black people got to get off that. I'm gonna save you from shit because that's some bullshit. People say that shit because they really want. This is what Hoteps used to say that about. I'm gonna save you from the black church, but at the end of the day, they want you to do the same thing for them because they want to be the new black church, and that's really what it is. You know, people could have said that, and people did say that Jason Black's documentaries are not worth $40. They're not worth you buying $40 for a fucking DVD. So I've said Tariq Nasheed's shit is overpriced. As far as some of the pay on demand videos he offers, shit. But my point is, ain't nobody was in Jason Black's fucking pockets when he was raising $250,000 for a documentary that he spent what 70K on. And look, I give him credit. He put the upfront. I will give him credit. He did put the upfront money on it, and then he basically was raising money for advertising. That's what he would say. But let's not act like all that money just went to just pay and it wasn't a profit for it. I'm a capitalist. He is too. He should get paid for doing that kind of work. That's what I said socialpreneurism is. But it's why I support that. But I just don't like when black men do that, but then they in somebody else's fucking pockets. I don't like that shit. You notice I don't mention, some of the people that I see kill. There's certain YouTubers that I see kill it when it comes to super chats. I mean, they kill it. When you look at how much they get per hour, but you'll never see me mention that and tie that to them. Although I mentioned their names before and I do it often, and you don't see me mention like their names in that sentence because I'm not trying to pocket watch people. And it's like, damn, nigga, you pocket watching, and it's all these hidden agendas about shit. Let him do his thing. Even when it was a young dude to say he been in Manosphere for like 2 months, and I understood what he was saying, but he was saying it out of context. And he was like, well, man, he ain't a part of Manosphere. It doesn't matter. The Manosphere is not like some fucking club. For the people that have been kicked out, they've been kicked out because they actually present a problem. Not because of we're just an exclusive club. Anybody can come in here if they've got an opinion that's worth something. Anyway, I don't want to make this too long. What's up, Roger? It's the same thing. I'm very happy to see, Roger's been doing great content for a minute, and I'm glad that Roger's getting the support. Where I'm sorry, I saw the last stream had 60 people on it. I don't go to Roger because he needs my help. I don't do that. I go because he's got good information. I support that content. I appreciate him super chatting as well. But I was sharing Roger shit before I turned on my super chat. You know, because everybody, like, the reason I mention other people's names, because we are in it as a team. We all bring something unique to it, something unique that others don't bring, and it's about leveraging a value. Maybe that's me working in the sales industry or the network marketing industry of me thinking that way. But see, for people that don't think cooperative like that, they have that Highlander method where they got to prove how big of a man somebody is. I don't give a fuck about that shit. When I say that, I'm talking about like somebody's ego. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to keep it real with you, and you niggas can get mad if you want to. I'm 5'5". I have no problem using every asset in my capability to overwhelm any opponent. Like, seriously. When it comes to my intellect, when it comes to my ability to make money, even when it comes to colorist shit, I will put everything on the fucking table, because at the end of the day, that's the world that we live in. Now, certain things I may be less likely to use, but niggas that are 6 feet don't give a fuck. So why should I give a fuck about what's fair? And this is not to say that I'm gonna trick on bitches. I'm not gonna do that, because that's too expensive to do in the United States anyway. But what I would say is, I will flip the damn game board on a motherfucker in a second. I have no problem, changing environments or terraforming an environment to fit what the fuck I want, or outright dealing with other people, other chicks. It doesn't matter. But you got dudes that they want to create certain rules, and if you operate outside those rules, they get mad, because at the end of the day, they can't play your game. It's just like, people that get mad when they change the rules in the NBA to favor offense, because you had a lot of dudes that the only way they could really win is if they could be absolutely more physical. They can't win when they gotta put less restrictions on them. It's the same thing with these white boys do with football, but they keep on trying to change the rules to basically try to push dudes out, when in actuality, really, you're not up to par. And I just get tired of black men talking about economics, like economic money. That's one thing Jason Black and Kevin agree on. Money does matter. Nobody's saying money should be the only thing, but the reality of the situation is black men got to stop trying to use manhood as this like this getaway car. Because I'm gonna keep it real. The only reason why you all are even allowed to do that, the only reason why black men are even able to do that is because the environment that has been created that black men don't control. The truth is, this is the truth. The truth is, black men would not have been able to say that in the 80s because in the 80s, money did matter. And in the 80s, image did matter. And so what happens is we like to lean on the same feminism that dudes complain about is the same feminism that got these women acting like whores, which is the same feminism's got them fucking with niggas. Quite frankly, it's up to them whether they want to fuck with or not. But guess what? If they were happy with them niggas, they wouldn't be bitching about them the whole way through. They bitch about them while they fucking with them, then they bitch about them after the fact. And then they expect other dudes to basically clean up after them. It's not, I don't give a fuck about them dudes. They were doing the game is the game. But you're not gonna sit here and get a retirement package. You're not gonna get a fucking golden parachute out of Horn. So this goes back to like Kevin talking about, oh well, everything they say can't be wrong. No, just 95% of the shit. 95% of the shit is wrong. Got these motherfuckers fucking with niggas that are out of prison. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, you can be mad at these niggas for complaining, but that's the nature of the beast. Welcome to the club. The bigger you get, the more you're gonna get that kind of heat. That's just a part. I mean, alpha. Think about it. Alpha male strategies had his haters, and alpha male strategies talks about manhood. He's pretty much the opposite of Kevin. Him and Kevin are completely different in every way. They are different as far as at least from a branding standpoint. Alpha male strategy got the same amount of haters. It's just that because alpha male strategies really wasn't saying anything different than what a lot of people thought, you didn't really see kind of the high value man debate. I remember when Alpha Male Strategy said, you lie to these bitches. You say what you got to say to these bitches. And how the whole manosphere was debating that and arguing that because a lot of dudes didn't believe that you should just outright lie. Me personally, I didn't believe you should do that because really you setting these chicks, if you play the lying game, the reality is these women can win that game every time because of how the society is set up. But other dudes just from a moral stance didn't believe you should do that. I remember that in the 2.0 days. I remember when Alpha Man, you want to talk about Kevin Riser. Kevin already had like 60 subs, 70 subs already. I saw Alpha Male Strategies go from like 0 to like 100 fucking K in like a 6-month period. And he wasn't doing none of that setup shit. He was doing not the same shit I was doing. You'd see his face a lot more consistently, but he literally used his cell phone and put the cell phone up to his face, long style, and basically was saying what the fuck it was. He said, you lie to these hoes gonna lie to you, they gonna dinner whore you. Look here, you do whatever you gotta do to get the pussy. I remember that shit. I remember Steve the Dean. I remember everybody had something to say about that. I remember everybody had something to say about that shit. And see, understanding that history, I understand kind of the pattern when it comes to when people pop up like that. So anyway, shit, same thing with Jap. Anyway, let me answer y'all questions and then I'm gonna sign this out because I didn't, I didn't even want this to be an hour. Oh, nigga, nigga, you act like a female. Let's get the fuck out of here. CD says he thinks Kevin's a poser. I mean, look, man, I'm not. You notice how I haven't. You notice how again I've talked about the points. I haven't talked about the person, like in that way. You know what I'm saying. And remember, I kept it to the points, so I'm not like, oh, you said I'm Borgin buffering. I shouldn't be anymore. Yeah, I mean, but see, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Nicole, Nicole can say that shit, and then you got to understand that obviously that's a competitive thing, but at the same time, you know, at the same here's the thing that kills me. Here's the thing that kills me. So Nicole is gonna say that about Kevin, as far as questioning sexuality, but number one, women are calling Kevin. Let's talk the facts. The fact of the matter is Kevin is not providing any incentive for females to call him. So women are clearly comfortable calling him. Doesn't matter why that is. That's a fact of the matter is as far as the metrics. So if Nicole is a female, why is she fucking bothered about the fact that Kevin? Also, Nicole tells women that they can just get their femininity after the fact when they have baggage. But the high value men that supposedly Kevin's speaking for, you know, only thing Kevin's doing is basically setting a reality straight. I don't think that there's anything that he's saying that's not true for high value men as far as how they view women, especially with the women that they call in. And so Nicole has an issue with that because that's fucking with her hustle. Say what you want to about Jason Black. Jason Black is not fucking married. And Kevin's talking about marriage. So I've said this way before Kevin came in the picture. I said, I fuck with Jason Black. I understand. I believe Jason Black is a millionaire because I've seen how much money he's physically been able to raise. Fine. I believe he's been everywhere he says he's been. Fine. He ain't taking one of these chicks off the fucking market. That speaks volumes to me. Doesn't matter what he fucking says. That speaks volumes. Because if he's been from sea to shining fucking sea, that means he's seen black women from every city. He ain't picked one up. That speaks volumes. Doesn't fucking matter. Kevin's been married twice, still talking about marriage. Nicole's talking about getting with one of these guys to get married. And then Jason Black, that question's never been perfect. So, see, man, I don't need to listen to what the fuck these people say. I can see shit for myself. And I always encourage you all to see that. Don't even fucking think about what I say. You go look it up and find out yourself. Same thing with, and you remember what she Nicole said about BGS. So Nicole just one of these chicks, and whenever you say something that nobody, and see, this is why she fucked up, because she said that Dennis Sperling is the ideal man that these women that she represents should aspire to be with. And again, this is where everybody in the manosphere is important. This is why one of the reasons why I've been sharing Dennis Sperling. For Dennis Sperling to do that interview with Jap, but Dennis Sperling has experience with even he's successful, but he understands both sides of it too. And if you all want a guy that's successful, but that's not gonna, you don't think is gonna talk down to you like that, Dennis is a good guy to go check out. Because I understand that some people I put out, everybody doesn't like. I understand a lot of y'all don't like Glenn Cameron. I'm going to put it out because I think he's got good information. But I put other people out there because I think there's other people that have definitely more visible experience than what I do. Like, what's called makes like almost 7 figures. And he's saying the same shit that we're saying. For Dennis Sperling to do a video of Minister Jap like that says everything you need to know. And for Nicole to put him out there as he is the type of man you get tells me that, again, even the guys even the guys that they want to say is the ideal think like what the fuck we thinking. So it says the shit we're saying has merit. That's why I say that. Also, another reason why I mention a lot of people's names is because everybody is brand new in the manosphere. So it's very good for them to get resources and get people for them to kind of explore the whole network that is the manosphere. There is multiple levels by which I do. And if anybody wants to ask me as to why I do what I do, just fucking ask. There's no need to talk about, oh, well, I think you're a woman and I'm going to call you Auntie Edward. And then I'm going to say that, but I'm not. I think you're gay, but I'm not going to call you gay. And that's some fucking childish shit. It really is. It really fucking is. And then you got to ask yourself, why the fuck are you even, why the fuck are you, is that even on your like that even on your shit? Like, why the fuck are you out here worrying if another man, like, nigga, you probably work with gay motherfuckers. Stop acting like, you actually do, like, I just, that nigga gay. Because my point is, if the point is the point. And I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but what I am saying is, nigga, that's what females do. Females sit there, oh, well, it's his man. Like, 1 + 1 is 2. Well, that depends on your manhood. Okay, bitch, if your manhood is so great, then bitch, why the fuck are you ran through a whole bunch of kids? Or let's flip it to dudes. You know, I'm not trying to pick on nobody, but I'm like, goddamn, if you got like five. I'm really not trying to pick on nobody, but I just want to put the example. It's like, look, you got 5 kids by 5 different people, and you the youngest, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you think something's wrong with me. These will be the same niggas that'll be like, well, that nigga ain't got kids. 50% of black men ain't got kids. 53%. But more black men don't have kids than do have kids. But it's this thing that I'm seeing is weird. And this is where you're tethered to the bullshit as it is. This is why I say some of these dudes, I like, dude, if you want to debate, like, we can debate all day. I mean, I have no problem. Pick a topic. I mean, for real. Yeah, he worded that in the most. Yeah, NBA fan. I know I'm way past what y'all talking about, so my bad. I know it seems like it's a delay. Yeah, NBA fan. I didn't hear the comment, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna listen to the comment because that's childish to me. If I come across it on somebody else's video, like, I haven't even seen the video with him and Obsidian, because at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it ain't like he's on some Black Lives Matter saying some absolute, anti-hetero shit. What a lot of dudes get mad about with Kevin, and this is what I disagree with, is a lot of dudes, they want to feel like their manhood can override their economics. And here's another thing. A lot of these dudes are bringing children into this world too. A lot of these niggas are bringing children into this world broke, thinking they can manhood their way on it. So when it comes to going to court, when it comes to doing the fuck they got to do, they can't do that. And then their kids are being raised fucked up because they're being raised at the mercy of that bitch because they ain't got no economics. So first of all, you chose the wrong bitch. You let the bitch, you nutted in a bitch like a stupid motherfucker. And then you thought your manhood could override that. All these manhood niggas, then then y'all shouldn't be having no fucking child support problems because your manhood should basically bring that bitch to heel. And see, niggas will get mad at me because they'll say, I don't understand because I don't have kids. You may be right, but at the same fucking time, you the niggas that are talking about money don't matter. Money matters when you need a fucking lawyer. Tell that to Dennis Sperling and tell that to Glendon. Yeah, money fucking matters. I'm not saying it's everything. And that's another thing about me too. Um, I don't look down upon people based on how much money I make because part of this is the network marketing aspect of it too. But I see the value in dudes. I see the human capital in black men. And so I don't look to tell people what to do. I say, what do you want to do? And I try to close the gap. So I see potential in dudes. And I'm not even talking about, and here's the thing. Kevin was doing it today. Talk about, well, dudes need to shave their head and do this. I'm not telling you none of that shit. You want your dreads, you want this, you want that, fine, because that appeals to somebody. But this is how to package it. What the fuck you are will appeal to this audience. If you want to appeal to a different audience, you need to do something different. If you don't, we can work with that. I don't tell people what to do. I don't tell dudes what to do. I tell them to look for a better way to do what they already fucking want to do. Be more efficient about it. Here's some things you could look at that does what you already do, the way you already want to do it. And that's why I tend to not get a lot of that's why I don't get a lot of pushback on these young dudes. Because if I see a young dude that buys shoes, yeah, I think you buying shoes is fucking stupid. If you're smart, you need to basically get clothes from the Goodwill, go to white folks, learn to get the brands and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna say tell them that if they're not open to it. I'm gonna say, hey man, you like shoes, you like a lot of shoes. Why don't you do a YouTube channel around that shit and that's a hobby you're passionate about. Get that shit to pay for itself. They may do it, they may not do it. Doesn't matter. I gave them information and that's it. And they appreciate that. Not information with something a caveat. That's something they may not have thought about. Maybe they did. Maybe they need some resources about how to do it and how to do it without putting a lot of money into it. This is why I told DJ Kuda about the mic shit. I agree with the mic shit, but the way he kind of goes about shaming niggas about it, talk about niggas just don't want to do shit. Niggas just want to do their equipment. And dudes are not gonna hear that shit. You gotta be able to say that shit in such a way that they appreciate value. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And it's with that spirit that I try to give information. Certain people are not gonna like me. Fuck them. Just like a lot of these bitches don't like me. Almost every chick I've dated has said they didn't like me whenever they first saw me. They first met me. They thought I was abrasive. They thought I was controlling. They thought I couldn't be told shit. Because truth be told, they weren't saying shit. I even got a lot of subscribed people that's commented me said they didn't like me when they first saw me, but they saw the logic of what I was saying. Anyway, it's pretty easy to spot. I gave him a chance, but I see him for what he is people eventually realize it. And I know is when I tell people to go on Kevin's shit, I'm talking about the points he's making as far as the conversation he's having with those females. By the way, y'all have not seen me endorse Kevin like I endorse Glenda, by the way. But I stand by Glenda Cameron. John Doe, Ed, did you see the clip of Kevin asking Carl if he had big? Yeah, I do. No, I didn't see that, John Doe, and I'm not gonna see that. Flip cool Edward. Why do some black men say women weighing less than men is a white man? I Okay, so I've never heard a man say that. I've never heard anybody say that a woman weighing less than a man is a white man's view. So I'm gonna be fair to the niggas that are on that side of the game. I could believe that you've heard that. I haven't heard that, so I won't speak on that. But damn. Pharaoh says CD majority of these so-called relationship coaches from women to men are frauds. The only religion one. And what's funny is Jason Black said Rebecca Lynn Pope is a fraud. He said not that she's a liar, but she doesn't have anything to say. Rebecca Lynn Pope is married. Rebecca Lynn Pope was a certified matchmaker. Rebecca Lynn Pope really didn't come to build a YouTube channel. She kind of fell into one. I think that a lot of black women, especially like Christian black women, there's a lot of black women that Rebecca Lynn Pope can get through to that maybe a Kevin and other women can't. Truth is, I know there's always somebody fucking with me. What's up, Raining Woman? What's up, Roger? You say appreciate the super chat. JJ Diesel Monk. I don't put my trust and faith in females. I put it in God on my. Well, man, you gotta understand, man. Females can be useful as far as putting information out to other women. So if they step up to the plate and they're willing to put themselves out there, then if they're saying some of the things that make sense, I'm going to support it. But y'all don't see me talk about Rebecca Lynn Pope all the time. But Daniel Scott, what good is game if you can't use the same social skills to level up your career? Absolutely, Daniel Scott. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. Number one, thank you for using the word social skills. And number two, shout out to Charisma on Command. Y'all should check out that channel. That's a white channel, but that's a channel. Good. And Tariq explained that when it comes to game. Tariq said that basically in the 70s, because of Jim Crow and all that, black men created this culture around doing business in the underclass. So we like project that. And I've heard nameless protagonists talk about how, we create things where like certain rites of passages, backwards rites of passages. And this is where black, like this gynocracy has kind of fucked black men up. And yeah, man. And you say what you want to about Jason Black and Kevin, but they both agree. One of the biggest black male delusions is money doesn't matter. And you're not going to alpha your way on money. Stop fucking bringing up Frederick Douglass. Stop fucking bringing up Malcolm X. Stop fucking, because number one, a big reason why Malcolm X didn't do more is because number one, he depended too much on the Nation of Islam. And number two, he never dealt with economics. Malcolm X made a mistake. I'm gonna keep it real. Telling Muhammad Ali to basically sacrifice his career, that was a mistake. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. I bet you a lot of them kids, low key, have a lot of resentment for Malcolm X for doing that, and the Nation of Islam for doing that. because at the end, for what, so there's a lot of economic stuff that people don't, even with Sidney Poitier putting a lot of money behind a lot of these movements, but people want to say, oh, he was with a white person. At the end of the day, he's putting energy behind the movement. And Sidney Poitier wasn't getting nothing in return other than you seeing doing what the fuck y'all was gonna do anyway, which is see his movies. We wish we had more celebrities that were doing that. Especially when you see a lot of these celebrities start hit $1 billion. Nick Cannon can shut the fuck up and just put his money behind the right black male cause and keep his mouth shut and keep on making his money with Wild and Out. He would have been much fine with that. Or Nick Cannon can do a show kind of like DJ Vlad and basically remove him off the table. There's things that a lot of folks can do without necessarily putting themselves out there like that. But see, because black men don't respect money. And that's a lot of that crab in a barrel mentality. It really is. It doesn't matter if Kevin says it, Jason says it, or Glendon says it, because I've seen them all get the same heat. Glendon doesn't get that much heat because Glendon it never really came through the manosphere like that, but he had to like disavow the manosphere to a certain extent too, because dudes were coming at him, a lot of hoteps. I think personally the words were taken out of I assume the words were taken out of context as well. Pharaoh, but I just don't respect a lot of that competitive shit because at the end of the day, clearly, because let's be clear here, Nicole came in because let's keep it real, and I'm not trying to make this about Nicole, but Nicole came in a lot of what y'all saying Kevin did, Nicole actually did. Nicole came in the manosphere. She basically went on O'Shea shit. She went on a couple of people's shit. She built up a certain subscribership to get certain assets in the algorithm, and then all of a sudden she became an anti-manosphere person. That's what she did exactly what Kevin's talking about. So and she's one of the big reasons why a lot of men are really like fuck women in general as far as coming into space. Well, JJ Diesel, like I said, I don't have a problem with Hebrew Israelites. I just find a lot of these niggas they seem to come at me, tend to always want to talk about on some most high shit. I've noticed that. And like I said, I understand the Hebrew Israelites are very different. I don't pretend to know the nuance. I do not know a lot about Hebrew Israelites. So I'm not go that's why you don't see me going into deep detail on that. Yeah, what's up, Game Changer? I mean, Game Changer gets a lot of haters too. It is what it is. Me and Game Changers even gone at it when it comes to disagreements. Hell, I mean, Fantastic's gone at it. Game Changer said $40. There's nothing wrong with monk mode. I think people need to go into monk mode. Shout out to Solo TV for talking about no fap. I think a lot of black men can benefit from that. Um, it is a lot. It is, and this is why when dudes talk about, man, he did blow. AMS did blow up quick. So when I say these things are a pattern, I mean that. I remember that. So me understanding that, you got a lot of people that have not been in the manosphere that long, so they don't really have context to that. It's a lot of stuff I don't say. No, this wasn't about AMS, but AMS did kind of act like, he did kind of act like he was on some guilt shit. He kind of sounded like he want to take back the lion shit, which people have a right to grow. I remember when Tariq Nasheed said that Rob Kardashian should have tricked on Black China rather than have a baby. And I think that took him being a big man to at least come off even though he's anti-tricking, but at least to say in that situation that was a smarter situation. Kevin came through like Trump, pissing off both sides. I mean, I think Kevin's on to something. I think the problem is black men tend to get mad at the messenger and the But and y'all got to check out that post, man. Like, go to the business, check out that post that Jason Black put. It's a fitment for a few guys to piss him off, so now he's questioning black men as a group. I'm not gonna argue with their CD. He's selling intangibles as former coach. Yeah, coaching is an intangible, but don't underestimate knowledge. But y'all ain't seen me say shit about his coaching, so don't hold me to that. I just said, hear those women talking. Brad said Nicole's bothered because she's low value, masquerading the fact that she hasn't connected with him. Lets me know how she ain't. Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, honestly, I mean, I look, man, I don't have 100 subscribers, so I'm not gonna pretend to I'm not gonna pretend to tell somebody what to do. I will say O'Shea's got 100 subscribers. You've seen how he's operated when it comes to managing a lot of haters he has. I think the thing about Kevin is Kevin has to understand that your audience on YouTube is not your core audience. Your audience on YouTube is not all making six figures. So you come as far as men. So you coming off as bourgeoisie, that shit's not gonna work. And black people have always had a resistance to people that come off like that. Even black people that are in the higher classes. So that is something that's gonna bite them. But you know, certain people you can't tell shit. And so if you always come back, this is what Fantastic was kind of talking about. When you always come back to the money aspect, especially where um a lot of that shit is just you saying that shit. Now I understand Kevin's in sales and shit. A lot of people don't know how much money Dynas has either. So he ain't completely like talking some shit he don't know. But I kind of in the middle between what CD is saying, and what I'm saying, but age is the problem. Old hosting and attacking feminine, going to get them shit. Rail race, bustling, get you paid in Black America like the church. I'm not impressed by this. Yeah, Rael, you're right, and I think BGS could probably do it just as good and get paid. But I think the value of Jason Black is Jason Black. I don't give a fuck what he calls. He can call it Black Book. He can call it Jason Black's codes, whatever. But at the end of the day, a lot of the critiques and the shit that we've said is very true. He says, and he puts it in a different package. I care about the message. I don't care about what the fuck brand is behind it. Too many people care about people telling you, like, validating what you want to believe. Glendon hasn't done that. Jason hasn't done that. Oh, well, you always got another man's name in your mouth. But these are people that people are listening to. This is like we talk about TV shows. So yes, I'm gonna reference that. But you all know as well as I do, there's shit that you all heard on from me say that none of these niggas have ever said. And me package it in a certain way that none of these niggas have ever packaged it. Yep, absolutely truth as I know it. And I think that's a weakness. Because I think they're paying to their men that think that way as far as they look at do you like somebody. You're look, I get quote unquote game from people I don't like and from my enemies as well. Remember, America defeated Nazi Germany and stopped them from doing Operation Paperclip. Y'all got to get game no matter where it's from. Exactly, for the likes. I am descriptive. There's multiple layers as to why I do what I do. I don't because if I was clout chasing, you don't even see me plug my own fucking channel as much as I'm on these panels. I never do that ever. So otherwise, I probably get more subscribers. Yeah, it is. Yonder Jason Black wants to send his pro black simp army to go and do what he's not willing to do. I don't. All of them are not simps. I mean, I take like I said, I rock with Jason Black, but like when I disagree, I disagree. Truth is, I know it. Kevin is a huckster who doesn't care about black men and will say anything for money. Hun, miss is the human capital. I think black people focus way on the social capital. Black people we have a religion, a cult like zealot like around the social capital. That's the problem. Because at the end of the day, if you can't use social capital convert to, like Jason Black done a good job of using social capital convert to financial capital. under the guise of doing pro black stuff. But we black, I get what these black men are saying, like the human capital, but a lot of these dudes are saying that as a way to undercut the financial capital. And that's where I run into the problem, because black men have a way too big tendency to want to do that. JJ Diesel said, I'm 41 years old, no kids, live alone, never been married, never had any STDs, I don't have any child support, I'm so thankful. Absolutely. But see, you be seen as a weirdo. It must be something wrong with you. That's how people think. I prioritize because they're not seeing the human capital. They're not seeing you as a hetero male that has your own money that you can invest into maybe another project or something like that. They worrying about who you fucking as to why you don't got a kid, which makes you know, which makes them no different than Kevin. What you know? What's funny? A lot of y'all clowning Kevin about that dick shit, which that may be some stupid shit he did. I don't know, but a lot of y'all think the same way because you all are worrying about the quote unquote social capital. But when you all ask, are you getting bitches? What is this and what is that? Notice how these dudes are always asking, are you getting bitches? They never ask how much money you got. They never ask what investments are you doing. They never ask what businesses, what have you been doing? This shows you know what you're talking about, what career job you have. No, they want to know about the bitches. You know why? Because low key, they want to know if bitches want you. Is they asking the same fucking question? It's the same question. It's just not directly asked. What Kevin asked was the same thing that a lot of y'all asked indirectly. If we talking about building something, getting bitches is irrelevant unless that's really what you care about, and that's that social value. Archer said. Kevin mentioned me in his show. D, what did you what did he say? I would love to see that clip. It is a touchy subject. You can't leave me hanging like that, D. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. And if you notice, I say what the fuck I say. Like you've heard me promote Alan Roger Curry's book, and Alan Roger Curry's had some shit to say. To me sometimes. Shout out to Milton T. Jackson with the $5 super chat. I say what I say was the point because it doesn't matter. You know, people don't know how much money BG has made. The problem is, you know, even if you know, I've seen, look, people know that Glennon Cameron makes money. They know how much money generally he makes. People got something to say. People have seen Jason Black raise $250,000. They got something to say. It doesn't matter if you show money. It doesn't matter if you show your face. Because everybody used to say with Jason Black, I can't see you. I can't see you. You can see Kevin, you got something to say. You say something. So it doesn't matter because I've seen people argue no matter what you show, dudes, people are gonna hate. So it doesn't matter. All that shit about not being able to see you, not knowing you, not doing all that's bullshit. All that's bullshit. And I'm glad you said that, Daniel Scott. Finances is a touchy subject in the manosphere because you got a lot of dudes that they don't like keeping score with finances. They like keeping score with intangible manhood. And my thing is, um, you're not gonna build collective black male power on some intangible bullshit. You just not. Absolutely, John Doe. They gonna talk shit. Exactly, Archer. We do care too much about the messenger. And you can see that in a lot of celebrities. They're able to say shit. I can agree with that seating. Designated fly, you're stupid. That's true, Seattle. If you've seen one show, you've seen them all. That's absolutely true. And I'll end this video with this, man. I don't have a problem with grown man business. I really don't. He came out of fucking nowhere. And what a lot of this shit is a lot of these niggas, like, I'll disagree with them on a point and then they'll take it personally because I don't know if I broke your point down or whatever, but then niggas get mad at me and they don't like me because they mad at some shit that I done fucking forgot about. Half these niggas, I don't even know who the fuck they are until they step the fuck up and start saying some shit. To my face, and a lot of them probably had something to say somewhere else, but I don't fall for that bullshit about that he said she said. So the only way they really get something is they gotta see me online thinking calling me a woman. Fuck nigga, what? But what was not somebody not gonna do is keep on thinking they gonna call me some auntie this, auntie that, the whole stream, thinking I'm just gonna let them say that shit. No, that's it. That shit's not gonna happen. See, man, you proving my point. I didn't call you. I didn't call you, nigga. Shut up. Anyway, so I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the super chats once again. Um, No, I didn't say Kevin was anti-manosphere. And I understand what Kevin talked about to a certain extent when it comes to narrative, but the reality is black men, number one, black men can't first of all, I'm gonna end it with this. First of all, black men are in their kids. Here's the thing, the thing about the narrative piece. Number one, black men do not have a bad narrative because black men are not performing. And all black men have a bad narrative because of white supremacy. Also, because let's talk facts. Black men are more married than black women. Let's talk fact. Black men are not the ones activating these divorces. Black men are in college a hell of a lot more than what's really promoted. Black men are in their kids' lives than what's promoted. Dr. Tiasan Johnson just literally today did a video, a dissertation, or it's not just a video, man. A lecture on the black feminist slave porn, and one of the things he talked about Lovecraft Country, he talked about Antebellum, and just a whole litany of all this black feminist, Harriet Tubman promotional bullshit. And what he said, one of the things I pulled out of what he said, and this is an expert PhD in this shit. He said that the problem is not black female empowerment. That's fine. The problem is this black female empowerment that is empowered by tearing down black men. There is a whole multi billion upon $1 billion industry that's been going on for decades in a lot of different industries and throwing black men under the bus. That is why black men have a bad reputation. We're not even gonna talk about the political part as far as when black men do try to do something, the black women get in the way. And this is where I disagree with Green Gorilla. I know it come off like I'm talking about hopelessness, but what I'm saying is you're not gonna alpha your way through this shit. You're not gonna just all black men is gonna get together because all black men don't agree as to what to do to deal with it. We have completely different opinions as to how to deal with it. You're not gonna just Kevin said the same thing. You're not gonna, oh well, you just need to change it. There's a reason why it hasn't been changed. Let's stop acting like it's just, well, motherfuckers are not working hard enough. It's not that. That's true, Rael. And so we have, like, you think that people before have had these discussions at this level and like networking as far as what the real issue is with different people's experiences. So, Kevin was insinuating that, black men have a bad reputation because there's some truth to what's being said. Of course, there's some truth to what everybody says. But the reality of the situation is if black men are so bad, then why are black women not getting picked up and going somewhere else? Because, like BGS Igmore said, black women like it like that as a collective. And see, this is where Obsidian talking about having a real conversation makes sense because we got a lot of people that don't want to talk good faith. I just came from some panels talking about game where it turns around motherfuckers got two, three, four, five fucking kids and shit, and they want to talk about game as far as getting women to take care of you and shit. And I'm like, okay, so this is what we're presenting as game because that's not what I thought game was. We talk about the BBW shit, where I had to be clear on what a BBW actually was as far as what they were talking about. Because they were just talking about a chick that's got ass and titties. I'm like, okay, that's not necessarily BBW. BBW, I've always looked at is where your stomach is. And let's keep it all the way real. Black women are not fat because of black men are lazy. Black men, like anything that's going on with black women are not married because there's not a lot of eligible black men. Okay, well, you just did a whole bunch of shows demonstrating that these women are not eligible. So what are we talking about? I mean, it's much easier for black men to go get a non-black woman than it is for a black woman to go to get a non-black man. So how about that? In fact, this is all I gotta say. You can take that whole video that Kevin said, and all you got to do is look. And BGS did that video talking about black women compared to I think it was in the same video where he threw the kitchen sink at black women. That 15-minute video where he talked about, like, I said it. I talked about it a couple of days ago, like a week ago. We talked about black women compared to non-black women as to what they want in a mate and what they're willing to deal with in a man. Their standards. Even Jason Black said that black women he said black women don't need to lower their standards. No, they need to get realistic standards. So no, black men are not eligible because black women are out here thinking they could be 200 fucking pounds and get a dude that makes 150, 200,000. Then, Kevin's talking about you need 350,000 to work from home. Even if I go with those numbers, most of these women, and he even says it, 70% of y'all gonna have to work. I don't know why you women don't want to work. So black men are not eligible to them. But guess what these niggas are eligible for? These niggas are eligible to have a baby. And they said it to Kevin to his face. I'm much more, and I've heard that too. I am much more comfortable with having a baby with a man than marrying him. The fuck you gonna do with that? So here's the thing. Even well, black men are not eligible. Okay, yeah, only 20% of black men make 50,000. Shit, what when you talk about, let's say 20, let's say 30%, 30%, 35%, if you say 40 individually. Hey, that is what it is. That's what happens when you promote your women over your boys and all of that. And we can put it on the men anyway. Guess what? That's not stopping the bitches from fucking them. And I'm not mad at them for getting pussy. So they complain later about who they fucking? No. I'm not mad at these niggas for fucking, but guess what? I'm not about to clean up that shit. Anyway, exactly, CD. That is true. So I'm not hating on these niggas, but at the same time, And it's never been about me hating on these niggas talking about Pookie and Ray Ray are the problem. No, Pookie and Ray Ray aren't the problem. You choosing them are the problem. Because quite frankly, a lot of these niggas are Pookies and Ray Rays because they know being a Pookie and Ray Ray is gonna get you pussy fast and it is gonna doing productive shit. Women stop fucking with Pookies and Ray Rays, they'll stop being Pookies and Ray Rays for the most part. So that's why I've never made it to like, oh, the problem is eliminating the Pookies and Ray Rays. I've never agreed with that because they are not the cause. They are a symptom. And the cause is women throwing a pussy at them and then turn around and thinking the other dudes are gonna save them. And I'm like, no, fuck that stepdaddy shit. I'd rather y'all date out. And then they get mad because no, no. And it's not about me getting punishing them. It's business. It's business. That's like you know what black men women's mating standards are? That's like somebody selling a product and then somebody returns the product and then they repackage the product and then they sell it to you at full price. You would not like that. That's basically what they're doing. Yo, I've seen that Daniel Scott. I'm not geniuses, but I've seen dudes dumb themselves down to playing a Pookie and Ray Ray character because it gets them more pussy. And that proves my point. Anyway, yeah, I've heard black women say marriage is a bigger commitment than having a baby. I've heard that a couple of times. I've heard that a couple of times. I've had to let some chicks go that I actually really liked because they were on some shit like that. I was like, God damn, man. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna lead this up for y'all, and this is we're signing off. Peace.